So what's up, everybody? Welcome to Free Throw Fridays. I'm Coach Kenya, and I'm here with Wayno, and we're here every week at 6 o'clock, taking your free throws, taking your questions. What's going on, Wayno?
What's going on? What's going on, Kenya? Feeling good. You know, long day, a little bit of shaky weather. Not discouraged about it, though. Everything's going fine. How's everybody doing this evening?
Everybody's good. All right, so we got some good questions. And what we're going to do is we're going to go one at a time. So I'm going to start up in the corner with the gentleman who was on time. It's Choco. I'm going to mess it up. Choco? Okay.
What's up, Chaco?
So unmute yourself. How you doing?
I can't complain. Trying to take it easy during this time. How about y'all? Y'all okay?
We're good.
Doing our best,
well,
you know?
Thank God, yeah. So give us your Instagram handle first before we get started.
At CHOCO_K.
Cool. And then what's your question?
My question is, what PR or marketing company is best for new artists in your opinion?
PR marketing company. I say like I don't feel like new artists need PR because the whole idea of PR entails like working with publications. I think in order to get your name out, especially now, most people's fans don't need to read an article in order to know if they should listen to them anymore. You know, that's the thing kind of the past, you know, before it was like, okay, you know, the Source held the credibility when it came to, you know, classic albums, or Double XL held the credibility when it came to telling you who was next. I think that because of the way platforms are now, you don't necessarily need you know, a PR to be seen. You need more of a digital marketing person. And one of the companies I know that facilitates those type of things is 740. They're a company that they started like within Atlantic, and then they grew into their own thing. But they take everybody from the smallest to the largest clients. You know, they just partnered, I think, with Scooter Braun on an artist. And these were guys who came up with like Young Thugs, Barter 6 campaigns, came up with, they worked, shit, man. I think they did XXXTentacion at one time. They did a lot of up and coming artist stuff. So you need digital marketers that could put you on pages that can be seen like via IG. But as far as like PR, like I think that comes a little bit later when you gain a little bit of notoriety more. Cause it's like, you know, also, no problem. You also got to think about if you're a new artist, there's not people lying unless you have a reason to be interviewed, like a la like a record that's moving. There's no reason for anybody to talk to you. Everybody's the next up and coming. Like I get 1,000 DMs a day about, yo, I can make you so rich. I'm the next best this. I don't sound like anybody. Prove it. You know what I mean? Like telling me is one thing, but like proving it is another. And I know that might seem a little bit dismissive, but that's the game that we're in now. It's like, you know, it's hard for me to jump in with an artist at the very, very, very beginning stages, you know?
Yeah, it's a hard field to navigate because you never know how serious somebody takes their profession. So, it's, you know, a lot of people getting people out here, they're not fully vested in it. They just do a little bit of it and they're not really helpful. So,
right.
Thank you, man.
No problem.
How long have you been doing music? Are you an artist?
Yes, I am. I'm an artist. I want to be a songwriter more so, but you know, I'm just getting the artist part out so I get comfortable how I'm making songs. I have a single that's actually, you know, moving pretty organically, and it's kind of tripping me out. So I'm just trying to see how I would be able to take it to the next step. Called Lessons Learned. If anybody wants to check it out later.
Yeah, where can we find your music?
Everywhere.
Okay.
I have one single that's moving. I haven't dropped anything new since then. Because I'm learning how to actually do the business part. The artist part come easy. It's the
Gotcha.
I'm happy you said that.
No, I've been following you for a very long time, Wayno. So I've been one of the people in the DMs that just asking questions. Like this is like my third time, even when you was doing the lives back in the day. I just paid attention since I seen that you was working with East, not to, you know, do anything. Like,
there we go.
Paid attention long enough for that. So I just needed to see where your head at sometimes, you know.
I appreciate that, man.
I see your growth, bro. Nope.
I appreciate that,
Humbly,
man. Seriously,
humbly,
appreciate.
humbly, bro. Like I seen you take your steps, man. That's dope.
Thank you. I mean, and those steps, those same steps are there for you as well. You know, you gotta get, comfortable with the process. Music, entertainment specifically is a hurry up and wait type of business, where you could be working really, really hard, and then tomorrow you could get a call from somebody, and that call might not bring anything to fruition for the next 6 to 8 months, but that doesn't tell you to stop working. You got to keep pushing through it all. So, I'm thankful that you've been following my journey, man, and hopefully I can get a chance to witness yours.
I don't even know what to say. I'm just gonna be humble tonight. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that so much.
No problem, man.
So listen, thanks for coming on the free throw. The support is appreciated, and good luck with your music and stuff. We'll definitely be checking you out for sure.
Soon. I'm putting it out there. This won't be y'all last time seeing me.
Awesome.
Good. Very good. All right, awesome. So we're gonna keep it moving. Before we go on to the next person, we do have our special guest that has joined us. I'm gonna unmute you, JJ. Here we go. Can you hear us?
Yes.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
We're well. We're hanging in there. Can't complain.
Man. Can't complain. Most I'm complaining about these times is the weather. Not much more than that,
I hear you.
No doubt.
So, I mean, for those of you who don't know who JJ is, JJ plays for the Westchester Knicks, right? And how long have you been playing basketball for?
Man, well, it started when I was basically like 4 years old. My father put the ball in my hands pretty much, and then it just went on from there.
And so you always knew you wanted to play basketball, pretty much, it sounds like.
Oh yeah. I always knew I wanted to play basketball. My father wasn't really in my life too much, but at the same time, he was always there for me. But my mom basically became my father and my father and mother put together pretty much, just basically pushing me to keep going. She ended up being when I was really young, in the little leagues, she ended up being my head coach. So, she kind of coached me through being where I am today.
Shout out to really moms. Dope, man. We're important for sure.
That's really dope. I mean, me and Kenya, we was having a conversation about one of the one of the most important things in sports that's unseen is the coaching. We get to see, athletes and entertainers alike, work really hard, and we get to see, their careers blossom and all of that, but not enough emphasis goes into the people who are behind these guys and ladies, that make it far because they have the right type of tutelage. And that's why, we do free throws, because basically, we want to just offer our time to be able to coach people however we can.
Yeah, definitely. And it's good in a way because, for me, especially for me, I didn't have stuff like this growing up, and the social media is a big part of, a lot of the kids growing up right now, because you can reach out to guys like me, or reach out to people like you guys to incorporate a lot of stuff in their field of play.
Absolutely.
And I would just say, I think one of the most important things too is I think it's good to hear from somebody who's made it. So obviously you had a dream of playing professional basketball, and you've been able to accomplish that. So tell us a little bit about what that journey was like, right? And what are some things that you did to kind of keep yourself encouraged and motivated?
Well, the journey was hard, I played basically 4 years in high school, and then my senior year I went to prep school. So I felt as prep school was gonna get me on the right path. I went to all boys prep school, so it literally took me out of my actual home to go live by myself, like if I was going to be in college. So I went to prep school my senior year, ended up going to Pittsburgh after prep school, graduated from prep, obviously, graduated high school, went to Pittsburgh, played Pittsburgh for 3 years. The transition was good in a way, but I had a little girl that was just born when I was in my freshman year in college. So as the years started going on, Pittsburgh wasn't that far from New York, but at the same time it was far, like from being away from my family pretty much. So I kind of after my 3rd year at Pittsburgh, I went to Rutgers my senior year, closer to home. It was only like an hour and a half, if that, to just be closer to my family. I got 2 beautiful little girls right now. Got my wife, and there's nothing really more I can ask for, and just playing this ball game. Those are my motivations. I went overseas, played in Mexico, played in Argentina, played in Dominican Republic, played in Philippines. I played, man. There's not a lot of places, not a lot of people that can say they traveled the world to go play, and still have somebody to come home to, and keep motivating you and keep pushing you to keep going.
Right.
I
can imagine. Yeah. So what are you doing? How are you keeping busy with no sports? Because we're all suffering, but you're probably suffering more than we are.
Yeah, so it's hard. It's hard because I can't really go out there and just pick up a ball and play again until everything is cleared up. So what I've been doing is I got my boys that on my game system. I play P4, PS4, and I play a lot of Call of Duty. Been on 2K, NBA 2K20 a lot. A lot. a lot. So it's something to just keep me motivated and just keep me going, because I'm like, shoot, I can't play the game, so let me play the game and just act like I'm the person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. So very good. So listen, we're really happy that you can make it and you could be here with us tonight. And basically how the free throw works is, Wayno and I get on here every single Friday at 6 o'clock. We take questions. So these are the other folks that you see here in the chat. We already took one question before you popped on, and we have some other questions. So you want to stick on, you know what I'm saying? You can be part of the dialogue. Sure. If you have something you want to contribute, that's why we have you here. We want to bring on different mentors every single week to contribute to the conversation, so that everybody has the opportunity to learn from everybody's different experiences.
Oh yeah, right? Definitely. And if anybody has any questions, just feel free to ask. I'm a definitely chime in and give as much knowledge as I could, as an older guy to whoever needs it.
Well, you don't look that old though. You look young.
My birthday just passed. My birthday was on May 25th, so I just turned 29.
Happy birthday.
So,
happy birthday.
May 29, man. You're a young guy, man. Happy belated, though, man. Happy belated.
Yo, appreciate it.
No problem, man.
All right, cool. So we're going to take a question. We're going to take another question. I'm going to go to, I don't have your name. It says, unmute yourself. Give us your handle and then give us your question.
Hi, my name is Elijah Muhammad. My handle is Elijah Mo Music at Instagram. Yes, ELAJAHMOU Music. I actually came to ask the question of how do I find proper management / figure out how to submit to A&Rs, especially now with the coronavirus going on. How do you do that? Before this, you could walk up to anybody, anywhere, at any event, and just hand them a tape or show them your song on your phone. But now, because we're stuck in the house, it's harder. It's so much more harder. How would you go about it, Wayno?
So my first question is, what are you trying to accomplish with just being an artist?
With being an artist right now, the main thing I want to accomplish is getting my music out there more, getting my music into more people's hands, and showing what I can do.
Well, you don't need to connect with any A&Rs for that. I think you know, we've all got a dream, and
Yeah.
you know, the dream that we usually have is like to be at the highest level of whatever it is we aspire to do. Sometimes that with music, that message gets a little bit misconstrued, because you may think that, you know, what you would love to do is like get your music heard by executives and all of that, but they're not the people that really matter when it comes to you making music. They're the people that can filter
Right.
your music out and monetize it. But you know, things have changed. Technology has changed, and you know, it's a new day. And I think that you should emphasize on, you know, getting your sound or whatever it is that you're doing more to the people, as opposed to A&Rs. When it comes to a management thing, it kind of goes hand in hand with the A&R question, only because you want management and A&Rs to be coming looking for you. You want to become one of the hottest guys. You want to become a staple. You want to become something that everybody's after, right?
Right.
When you go looking for these types of people, you don't have any leverage. So this is usually why you get put into, you know, negative situations. People get put into negative situations in music. It's not always negative, but it's like, you know, you get what you negotiate, you don't get what you ask for. So if you're coming out initially asking like, hey, you know, would love to have a team, or would love to have, you know, you be a part of what I got going on, people like you may be good, and people will be a little bit reluctant, like, you know, he's asking like, and then when they hear it and you don't really know much, they're gonna try to take advantage of you. So what I would suggest is that, you know, if you have, you know, if you're recording music, I don't know if you're recording it yourself
Yeah.
or if you have people who record you or people who
Yeah,
send you
I
beats.
record out my closet. I got a whole studio set up.
Oh wow! So then I would
Yeah.
say, you know, you're already pretty much running a self-sufficient machine. What you
Yeah.
should do is position people around you, to make your business bigger. I had I interviewed Gunna like a week or two ago, and he said to me, he said, I'm still looking for people to put on my team. He said, because, you know, the smaller the team, the smaller the business. You know, if I give me a bigger team, I can have bigger business. So I think, you know, figure out, you know, what you're good at versus what you aren't. Seek those people out that you aren't good with, the things that you're not good at, and delegate tasks. You know, delegate tasks. It might be somebody that you need to do artwork. It might be somebody that you need to, you know, mix and master. These are things that you don't really have too much time to worry about when you're trying to just be an artist.
Right. Yeah. You know, I have a team like that. I have art creator and a mixer and master and everything. Like, I actually have a whole project that's ready to come out. I guess because it's coming up, I wanted to make sure I could get it into the right hands while I'm also promoting it, pushing it, and getting it into people's laps. You know.
Yo, Elijah, the right hands are the people, man.
Right.
The right hands are the people. The right hand is not the A&R or the executive.
Yeah.
Like the people, and I'm an executive, but I'm a little bit more tapped in. As you can see, I'm on here with you. You know, you the people. So a lot of the A&Rs and execs, and no distance to them, but they go home, they turn their computer off and their phone off at 7 o'clock, and they don't care about what's going on in the world. I'm more on the side of, you know, trying to inspire the aspiring. You know, how I can give any encouragement. And I think the difference is when you when you got, when you really understand that the right hands of the people is to understand that the people are the business. So when we think about all these different things, like, all right, I would love to be signed to this company or that company, or be working with these guys. Who are they all marketing to? They're marketing to the people. You got a direct opportunity to reach the people by being able to put yourself on the DSPs, digital streaming platforms, titles. You don't have to cut any more red tape. Now, eventually, you got to have some good shit so that you can get playlisted or get some recognition. But you got the product and you got the consumer. You got to build your consumer base one at a time.
Yeah, you know, I got a couple of plays here and there, and a good fan base, I would say. But there's always room for growth. I'm trying to grow every single day. And I think that with this project, it's going to be a little different because it is more professional. I took the time and I practiced, I worked and whatever. And yeah, I hear everything you're saying, and I'm going to keep that in mind. You know.
Right. I mean, make small lists, man. Like make just small list of things that you want to accomplish and just knock them out little by little. From the thing is like make a list from the closest thing to you to the most out of this world thing you could never imagine. And as you do these things bit by bit, little by little, you'll see yourself starting to get a little bit closer and closer and closer.
All right. Okay. I'll check that out. I'll keep that in mind. I'll do that. For sure.
And I think you said something really key about just, practicing and working hard. And I would, venture to say that music is very similar to sports in that you have to kind of build a solid foundation. JJ, I'm sure you had to work really hard and practice hard and be, put yourself in a position to be discovered, right? Because there's a million people who want to go play for the NBA and play professional basketball. So what advice would you give to somebody who's on the sports side that's looking to position themselves professionally in sports?
I mean, like I said before, a lot of this stuff, like back in the days, we didn't have. Social media is a big part of this community now. Like this world now, we had MySpace, we had Facebook, like now we got Instagram, Twitter, we got Snapchat. Like a lot of people are on Snapchat promoting their stuff. Like I have my friends on my Snapchat that literally sends me videos like, yo, listen to this video. What do you think about it before I put it out on my IG? You know what I mean? Like you always gotta send snippets. You don't send out your whole thing. You know what I mean? Send snippets just so people can see you and hear you before you go and put out the major thing. And then now everybody's like, oh, word, I hear it. You know what I mean? Like, and just like what Wayne said, you gotta build. Like you can't just go out there and just put it out and expect people to like it. You know what I mean? Like you always got to keep building and building and building before you put out the whole big scene and have people try to break it down for you, because a lot of people won't do that. A lot of people won't just, all right, yeah, I'll listen to it. Nah, they want to hear previews or hear little snippets.
Yeah. And that's good advice. So that's pretty good. What do you think? You good?
Yeah,
I think that's questions.
No, that's all. That's all. It was great talking to you guys. You guys were so helpful. Seriously.
All right.
Thank you, Mohammed, man. We
appreciate you chiming in. We appreciate the free throw. Good luck with everything.
You guys.
All right, cool. So we're gonna move on to another question here. We got Soundwave Jordan.
Wait, hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Hey, what's up? How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Just hanging in there. Just been working since the whole virus situation. So, I'm happy to be working, but at the same time, being safe as usual. Just doing what I have to do. And, I'm sorry. I cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I was going to ask you what your handle was.
Okay. So my handle is at Soundwave Jordan. Same thing on Instagram and Twitter. And I guess to describe myself, I'm a music content creator. So essentially, I create content for musicians so they can use to promote themselves. So things like art, photography, music videos, videography, all that type of stuff. Pretty much like I'm essentially a freelance digital marketer for musicians and stuff like that.
Okay, and, so the brother that was on here earlier, Chogo, like y'all two should connect.
Exactly. Yeah. When he was mentioning all that stuff about, looking for some type of digital marketing campaign, that was pretty much like my criteria. And it's what I studied at school too and all that. So that's
awesome. That's awesome, man. I mean, this is why we built the platform, so people can connect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's why I was like, I was really happy when I saw the opportunity that you showed on your Instagram. I'm like, oh snap, let me look into it right away. Let me see what I can possibly learn or just get into. And pretty much it's been pretty cool, just seeing like how every, musician's different from one another, and just seeing how they want to handle their vision. And they look at me and they look at me in attempts to find their vision come to life, if I said that correctly. But pretty much just like, it's cool just working with a variety of artists and just seeing the variety of things I can do and expand my creative boundaries and everything along those lines, and just just working with them, whether it's doing photography or whether it's making like some form of animations or a music video. It's all been pretty cool.
Get it. So what's your question, man?
So pretty much my question was, as me being a freelance and all that, how would I get myself into like a bigger scope, or getting myself within the music industry, to be exact, because obviously I work with like a bunch of local acts, but at the same time I would love for my work to be possibly like recognized from like a bigger platform, or just putting my work out there to a bigger audience and stuff like that.
I think you gotta take. Of course, you understand where you're at as a
Yeah,
creative.
definitely, yeah.
But I think that you need to take some time to maybe offer some services. So like a lot of times in my career, I've been offered to work with certain people, and first thing they said is, what you want, how much you want. You know what I mean, what you trying to get? And more than a few times I've said, just give me the opportunity to be able to show you that I'm valuable, show my value there. Um, and if that leads to another conversation, then we go from there. I think a lot of times where we might feel a little bit of the frustration, where we might hit a wall, or say like, damn, I can't break through, is because we might have tried, we think we've tried everything. But for you being a creative, I say like, working with local acts is cool, but if you find if you're able to get in touch with artists that you may like, and it's not always you getting in touch with the artists, you got to look at the team that's around them. So if you go to one of your favorite artists' page, and they got some pictures up, don't look don't even look for the manager. Sometimes look for the homie. Look for the
Okay,
homie
okay.
that's in like 5 or 6 flicks with them. You know what I mean? Look at the person that's all on the stories with them, that's running around, and you might be able to reach them because their DMs might not be as flooded. And just reach out and say, hey, listen, man, I'm a digital marketer. This is some of the work, lay it out. Like, this is some of the work that I do. This is what I can possibly do. And I wanted to see if I can, offer my services. And, you got to take those arrows in order to be able to get on the platforms that you want to be on.
Yeah, I get you. I get you.
Yeah, I mean, like I think that rendering services without fees is always, people love free shit. You know what I mean, and that's cool. But you also don't want to, you want to sample size it. Kind of how JJ was saying, like, you want to sample size it. You want to give it out as a snippet. Like, it might just be some artwork, and you say, yo, listen, send me 2 pictures of yourself, and you might throw them like throw some effects on them, make like one dope cover, and they like, damn, yo, could I keep this? Could I? And you're like, man, that's nothing. Like, that's just a taste of what I could do. So
It's crazy you say that. No, not to cut you off. My
not
apologies.
good. Just go ahead.
It's crazy you say that, because that's actually how I started. I started offering like free services. I'm like, yo, I like your music. Let me try to make you a free cover art or something like that. Let me do a little free animation. And that's pretty much how I really started like my whole little page and all that. I just started offering free services. They liked it. They came back to me, and I said, yo, I can do more for that. Obviously we discussed like pricing and stuff like that, but that's how I started, and I was happy.
Well,
about
that's fishing, man. You gotta go fishing again. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
definitely. Yeah.
you basically just gotta go fishing again. And like I said, man, like me and one of my close friends today, we was having a conversation about discouragement, and he was letting me know that a few times like he went through depression because he felt like everybody around him was doing more than him, and I was like, nah, you're doing, like, you're counting your wins the wrong way. Success is not really measured by what our pockets say anything. It's measured by a feeling. And I think everything we're talking about, along with learning some new skills. Look at what you're up against. Like, look at what you're up against in the digital marketing field. And see, all right, this is a campaign that had I done this, I would have done it this way. Do the same like sometimes it might take you doing the same campaign that somebody just had, and just being able to show somebody else like, yo, look, yeah, I did it like this, but I could have done it like this, and I just think mine is better. And that's a determination that the client has to make. But I think the more you put yourself in position, and by putting yourself in position, I mean, like, um because of COVID-19, we can't really, be in front of people or, meet people face to face like we used to. Now's the time when everybody's checking something. So even when it comes to your craft, like pay for some sponsored ads.
Okay.
Pay for some sponsored ads. There's lots of concentrated ways that you can get your work out there. And even though you're a digital marketer, there's people that market your services. So you might need a manager at this point, being that you might have tried a lot of stuff. You might need somebody that then could connect you with one artist or one other creative that could, help you push yourself to the next level.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I
So that's
appreciate
really,
the advice and all that.
yeah, and I would just add to that too, like just to Wayno's point, like I think it's important to also diversify. Like I've always kind of lived by this quote, and I don't know who said it, but you have to kind of skate where the puck is going, right? So
Yeah.
it's kind of like it's like a hockey analogy where, I know you do probably a lot of content and music, but who's to say that you can't diversify and do something related to sports? So maybe instead of just reaching out to music artists, maybe you're reaching out to sports players, or maybe you're reaching out to just different platforms to really kind of cross promote and just show different variations of your work, because everybody needs content. And
Yeah.
I think sometimes we get really siloed and we get stuck in one thing because we feel comfortable with it and we kind of know it. And I think I've kind of learned, I've done that before, even in my career. Like I've been in radio over a decade. And for a long time, everything was radio, right? But also now we have this whole nother facet of this thing called podcast now, which is very similar to what radio used to be. Now more long form content, right? So sometimes we have to
Yeah.
be willing to expand outside of what's familiar in order to create, differentiate ourselves in the marketplace, because that's really the game changer. Like when you can really kind of get out there and put your, feelers out there for different things and create really compelling content using different platforms, I think that could be a real game changer for you.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Sure.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for the advice, though. Like, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and so just give us your Instagram handle again.
It's the same name right here, at Soundwave Jordan.
At Soundwave Jordan. Okay, cool. All right. Well,
Yeah.
listen. Well, thanks for coming on the free throw.
Oh, thank you for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity and just gaining insight from all of you guys. Wayno, huge fan. I watch Everyday Struggle a lot, so just seeing you on there, like, it's great. Just learning a lot about the music industry and of course the labs and all that. So yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
Hey, thank you again.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna pivot back to JJ real quick because I want to make sure that we maximize our time with you. I really want to get to the core of what are some tips and some takeaways that you can give to somebody who is been pursuing sports. Maybe they're a high school student, maybe they're in college, maybe they're a young adult that's kind of given up on their dream of pursuing professional sports. Like, what advice would you give to somebody who feels a little stuck and doesn't really know how to move?
I mean, one thing is never giving up. I always felt as you always got to put something. You got to put something in your head to keep you motivated so that you won't give up. I had an incident. I tried out for the G League my first year. Tried out for the G League. I ended up knowing the head coach. Like, I spent $150 on the tryout. There was probably like 300 kids at the tryout, like for the G League. So ended up getting called back. Did a couple of workouts, everything. Ended up going to the training camp. Training camp was real good. Once that training camp was over, they came to me, they sat me down and was like, listen, you played your ass off pretty much. Like, you played really good, but you didn't make it. So they ended up cutting me. When I tell you, that almost got me to the point where I was like, yo, I don't even want to play basketball no more. Like, my wife was like, nah, don't do that. Don't do that. Just chill out. Something's going to pop up. Like, you could probably go back overseas or something like that. I'm like, all right, I'll be patient. Started chilling. A week later, got a call from the G League team. Like, JJ, we want you back. One of the players got injured. So we want you back. You're only going to be here for like a week and a half, just to basically, you know, until he comes back from injury and everything. So I'm like, all right, cool. Went there, worked my butt off every single day. Like, it wasn't a day where I went in, the first person in the gym, last person out the gym. Like, listened to the coaches, made sure that I was working hard, even if it didn't look like I was like doing the right thing. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna still work my butt off. Ended up staying with the team throughout the whole season just because of my motivation, just because of something that pushed me and kept me going. And I was like, yo, I see that I can't just stop and quit. I got to keep going. Like, I got to keep going, and that's what's gonna keep me striving and keep me going to the end. Like, just like right now, like I say, like, I'm the vet. Like, a lot of teams, I'm like the vet. I'm always the bigger guy. I'm always the older guy. So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna teach the young kids. Like, whatever you guys have a question about anything, just come to me. Like, I'm not going to tell you anything wrong. I'm not going to tell you anything right, but it's something that's going to feed your mind. That's going to keep you going, or it's going to just basically, like, it's like a book. Like, it's like you're just going to write it down, keep it in your head.
It's all for interpretation, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nah, that's dope, man. I mean, it's really inspiring even hearing, you know, your story, and, you know, cause I've been there too. Like, you know, I tried to get a job one time, and I spent 2 years. This don't got nothing to do with music. I spent 2 years trying to get the job. I got one interview, and they said we went with somebody else, and I was crushed. I ain't gonna lie, man. I was crushed, and I just was like, what am I gonna do? And, you know, I just kept. I had something in my mind, like, yo, I just got to keep it moving forward.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like a moving forward thing. And I think, you know, not enough times we share that sentiment. You know, everybody always acts like they're not vulnerable, or they've never been down, or, you know, we got to start sharing those stories a bit more, because, you know, even for myself, you know, everybody looks at me as like, Wayno, everyday struggle, you know, complex, asylum, all these cool things. I get discouraged sometimes as well, you know, and fortunately enough, I have a team that backs me, but we all human. You know what I mean? We're definitely all human. And, you know, I appreciate you, JJ, for coming on here, because this is what we build Free Throws for, us, to, you know, to share these types of stories. Because even though, you know, you're in basketball, that runs concurrent with people's just lives, period. Like, when you said that, man, it made me just think about a job I was trying to get 11 years ago. And I'm like, damn, you just took me back. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, we really appreciate, like, you know, having you and you sharing this type of information. You know, thank you to everybody who stayed on, you know, and even the brother who was on here before. You know, like I said, this is a mentor. This is online mentorship. When you feel like you can't cut it, you always got me and Kenya to come talk to. You know?
For sure. Well, you got me now, man. I'll definitely tune in for sure.
Absolutely, man. We thank you, for real.
Yeah, no, we appreciate you so much. And we appreciate everybody on here. You know, one of the things that you said that really stuck with me, I think sometimes, like, we all go through a series of rejection, right? And it's not really the rejection, it's what we do with the rejection. And I'm gonna tell you, like, that's part of the process too, even though it doesn't feel good, you know? So it's like, that was, your story's encouraging. I mean, you know, it's inspiring, and we all have to we got to pay our dues and just get over the hump. And it's not what you're, you know, so much about what you're trying to achieve. It's like, what are you going to do with those little processes, like, in between to get to the end goal?
Right.
Yeah. So thank you so much. So this was good, y'all. Like, you know, we hope that this is helpful. I can say I really enjoy doing this with Wayno every single week. This has been a blessing for both of us. You know, we've all been cooped up in the house for the past, God, now it's going on 3 months. And it's just, it's good to be able to have a community of people to connect to, and just keep each other encouraged and exchange ideas and keep each other inspired. So we appreciate y'all.
We appreciate y'all, man.
It takes a lot of ingenuity at this point to try to get yourself up to want to do these things, because it's a process. Everybody's learning. So I thank y'all for taking the time out necessary to make sure that y'all got it right as possible for us.
Most definitely, yeah.
No problem, man.
for
And
sure.
all we ask is that, you know, just tell one of your peers, man. Tell one of your peers, whomever that may be.
If anybody follow me, I could probably tag you right now. Oh shit, well.
It's all good, man. It's like, you know, and there's no age barriers, man. We've had 17-year-old kids on here trying to figure out. We've had 40-year-olds on here trying to figure it out. We all trying to just be better people at the end of the day, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're here every single Friday night at 6 o'clock. You can catch us live on YouTube. Make sure you follow at Wayno's Pod so you can submit your free throws. Send us a DM. We have a little sign up link in the bio. You can hit us up there too. But we appreciate y'all, and we're here every week. So if you want to come hang out with us, we're here. JJ,
Awesome.
thank you again. We appreciate you so much, and we would love for you to come back.
Oh, no problem. I'll definitely be back, man.
Hey JJ, send Kenya your PSN so I could add you.
Oh yeah, for sure. I got you.
All right. Let's do it. I'm on 2K all the time too. So.
Man, listen.
Let's do it.
I just look at this. I'm on here, man. You feel
He really on it.
Yeah, I be playing like I be playing
Yo,
regular
he really
runs. My
on
son
it, bro.
plays the park. Yeah, I don't be messing the park, but let's do it, man. Have a good one, y'all.
All right,
Have a good night.
All right, guys,
Y'all
have
be
a
safe.
great
Be
night.
safe.
Peace out.